There are some genuinely great artists in the world, but not all of them find their work sold for vast sums of money in the great auction houses around the world. Nor do they necessarily live tragic, bohemian-like existences propped up by absinthe in and around the architectural tumbledown of the Rive Gauche in Paris. Locally, we have the undoubted talent that is Peter Jolly, residing in the flesh pots of North Tottington. Alongside him, we have the creative, hidden genius of Ian McLaughlin, our painter and decorator, late of Bury Road. Whilst down south, that land flowing with milk and honey and all things wonderful, dwells Jane Allison, Brownie leader and portraiture queen to the great and the godly. These wonderful people are characterised by their humility rather than by their madness. And this little preamble leads me into an area of personal interest that was indeed inhabited by some really oddballs who were, in the main, self-obsessed and deeply opinionated. I allude, of course, to the 19th century Impressionists. Now, don't switch off thinking this is all a bit too arty-farty, because there is an important point to be made here about Advent Sunday. Whenever I go to London on duties, I invariably end up viewing the collection of this particular artistic school in the National Gallery. On one occasion, I was studying Monet's Snow Scene, which is very well known. The thing was, though, was that it was only possible to fully see the painting from a distance. The same could equally be said of Renoir's Woman with a Parasol in a Garden. But the greatest example of the point I'm trying to make is George Seurat's Sunday Afternoon on the island of La Grande. It's composed of millions and millions of tiny spots that make no sense at all if you have your nose pressed too closely towards the canvas. Today is Advent Sunday. I will reread the antiphons at St Anne's, as we always do, along with those well-known words from St Paul to the primitive church in Rome. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Now is the time to wake out of sleep. As with the paintings I've referred to, so also with the Christian faith that we espouse and hold on to. Advent is the time to allow the dawning realisation of what Advent is all about to enter into our consciousness and our thinking. It is a time for standing back and looking afresh at its deeper meaning, and consider what it's conveying to a world in much need of its light and its truth. The simile provided by the artist continues to be helpful, I think. We see, but how deeply do we understand? The theme of Advent is very well known, and that can sometimes be unhelpful. The faith of the Church does not come to us, it seems to me, by some violent upheaval, but by a sort of gentle appropriation, rather like slowly moving away from Seurat's great work. Advent is a time for increased prayer, a time to open the pages of our Bibles and refamiliarise ourselves with the picture we have looked at since childhood, to understand it at a deeper level and how it informs and influences our daily Christian lives. It is a season and it is a time to reflect upon the events in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, which is of course the end of our spiritual journey every Advent, the journey that leads us to the throne of the King of Kings, Jesus, who is the light of the world. So then, keep the faith, and as you pray for me, I shall surely pray for you.